Welcome back to the New Life Recap, your weekly roundup of comings and goings on the New Life server. This week, Create-based production gets pushed a step further. Vegas finally gives up one of its secrets, and there's officially no dimension free of death. Got it? Then let's go! Gemini Tay bounces into a new life. She's a slime, which means no more fall damage, just a spring in her step. And a queen slime at that, able to shave off pieces into protectors that double as renewable name tags, in whatever color she makes herself. A far more preferable kind of dyeing.
So, you're saying if I just... Wait, I'm literally dyeing myself red.
Still, even without fall damage to worry about, Gem finally bites the bullet and upgrades her defenses to diamond. Except for a pair of slime boots, it's just style. Scott also drops by, trading her potion expertise for a promise of pretty end blocks, just in time for the plotting of a new base. To make a slime-themed base, she needs slime balls, and in order to get slime balls without murdering her people, Gem will have to get creative. A quick visit to Sausage for some cactus, and she sets to work. Gem automates the slime creation process using a web of mini-farms, crushers, and conveyor belts. Pop bones in one end, get balls out the other.
But look! Oh my gosh! There's slime balls! And not a single slime has been harmed in the process. Except this one. I've been a little harmed. My brain hurts. Dear God, this is the most technical thing I've ever done in my whole entire life.
Scott returns from his successful end raiding with some jellied gifts, perfect for a slime. And that gives Gem an idea of how to repay Sausage. Specifically by leaving a pile of slime blocks in front of his basement door, of course. But how did Scott get those end delicacies? Well, by joining Sausage's dragon fighting crew, of course. He's thinking more about the raiding than the fight itself, and looking through the mod pack spots a promising potion. More specifically, the Potion of Returning, with a bed symbol indicating it presumably sends players back to their last spawn point. He meets with Gem and offers something pretty from the end in exchange for her expertise. Not that she sounds especially confident. The dragon fight goes well, even if Scott relegates himself to the backline. Let the winged flyers who don't get penalized for killing things do the heavy lifting, yeah? Scott, Sausage, and Catherine head further out to the End Islands, admiring the complexity of the modded biomes and gathering goodies along the way. And playing the usual pranks on the poor, unflighted human, of course.
Catherine, you're gonna do this one yourself.
No, here, look,
Yeah,
here's
we
blood.
believe in you.
That was fun.
No.
Bye!
Come on, Catherine.
You can do it!
You can do
Come
it.
on. Don't let go.
I am holding down, but I'm nervous, so I'm
Sausage Wolf, I just sure.
Turns out the returning potions don't do cross-dimensional travel, but Scott doesn't hold that against Gem. He collects a bunch of blocks a slime might like for her, and the two of them test the returning potion in the overworld, and it works this time. Perfect for pranks. Speaking of, Scott checks on his patches at other people's bases, fighting the mushrooms growing splendidly.
Everything's going according to plan.
Oh, and there was one more important thing that happened in the end. Catherine's end.
Oh. Can you put any in a bucket?
Are they friendly? Yep. As I was smacking slimes, I got disconnected from the server. Then once I logged back in... Ah! Stop!
Catherine, you've got
Stop!
this.
Come on!
Stop! Stop!
Why did you just do that?
I died. To a slime.
She's back, baby! Catherine is reborn as a sheep! When with her flock, Catherine is happy, speedy, and regens health. But when away, discomfort makes her slow and hungry. A simple, fluffy friend. Of course, this new life means a new addition to the theme park. So welcome one and all to Sheepland! It's a breeze for Catherine to make some fluffy clouds using fluffy wool and a little glass. The perfect wood requires a trip back into the end, but thankfully someone left a waystone in just the biome she needs to dip in, dip out, and dress up some sheep houses. However, it seems that some sheep are more than a little sky-shy.
That was an accident. No, I was just trying to bring him to a new home.
With all the homes finally rented out, Catherine moves the rest of her flock into a fenced-off frolic beneath the clouds. It's always good to surround yourself with friends. Speaking of friends...
Hey, listen!
Flip's here and positively glowing. He starts his week with a visit from the equally glowing Shelby, who has a business proposal. Lend her some clams from his drowned farm, and she'll bring him a pearl necklace in return. Flip obliges, and Shelby returns quicker than expected to complete the trade. The necklace is helpful for swimming down and making improvements to the drowned farm, even if it doesn't exactly keep the drowned from noticing him. Maybe it's the glow? With the copper farm spruced up, Flip turns to fixing the gold farm. He's managed to lose the turtle egg again, having improperly blocked access to it from the baby piglins. A more permanent home for turtle breeding seems prudent just in case this keeps happening. There's also a small issue of the wrong mobs making their way into the farm, but Flip lets the locals take care of the intruders.
Why is there a skeleton here? Are they spawning on top of the spawners? You are, aren't you? Shoot the pig. They'll take care of you. No, shoot the pig. Shoot the pig. Yeah, take him out. Destroy it. Get him.
It's time for Create Mod Mayhem. Flip sets up several systems for dealing with the various drops from the gold farm. One line throws useless things like rotten flesh straight into a fire, one runs golden swords through a furnace to nuggetize them, one drops nuggets into a basin for mashing into ingots, and the final one sends full gold ingots into a big vault ready for use or sale. Plenty of chassis and conveyors to cover up with a fantastic factory facade, using limestone and some of the produced gold to make it stand out in the city. And he's got a handy tip for anyone who wants to feel 1 block tall, even if they're not.
A tip for making your buildings look even taller is the base floor right here. You can see it's 4 tall on the windows. On the top, it's actually only 3, so it looks like that's even farther away when you're down here. It's an illusion! Woo!
For a touch of flora, Flip snakes some golden cherry leaves up the side of the chimney and settles a custom tree in front of the factory. A bit of life on his new lease. With his own new lease on life, CPK has become a rift bender. He can access a mirror dimension on a separate layer from the real world, immune to anything on the opposite side of the rift from himself. After a quick test of his new abilities, he feels safe enough to tackle the retrieval of his grave from back at the Terrible Towers. However, one thing his test didn't account for is the range. An improper wall teleport that drags some enemies through the rift with him nearly spells the end.
Then if I get to that wall... Oh no! How has this happened? Oh!
Thankfully, CPK spots his death site, grabbing his stuff and making a tactical retreat without another scratch. Looks like his luck is finally turning.
Also, if this egg spawns a chicken, you guys have to subscribe right now, just so you know. Or this one. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. It was one of the 4 chicken eggs.
With that luck, maybe he can tackle Las Vegas and live to tell the tale. Since his mental loot goblin won't let him stay away, a waystone nearby lets CPK head home and gear up, and the local villagers seem happy to see him.
Actually, you know what? Let's go to Bugger PC. I'm using my 1 XP to travel to Bugger PC. And they celebrate my arrival with fireworks, as should all good villagers.
CPK's trip to Vegas is a careful one, since he knows just how many lives it's claimed, and he has no shame in dipping into the rift and out of danger. Running past all the mobs lets him loot to his heart's content, and that includes finding a map, which he just has to follow. It takes a little bit of digging and a whole lot of trust, but the map finally leads CPK to an underground foundry, he thinks. He's not sure if it's the actual goal of the map, but there is plenty of loot to be found, if the danger level of mobs spawning inside is anything to go off. A promising adventure for another day. And we're gone! That wraps up the week here on New Life Recap. Thank you so much for watching, drop a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you want more. Check out the contributors in the description below, and we'll see you all next week.